Welcome to Anchors Away. Today we're exploring one of Texas' most breathtaking destinations, Big Bend National Park. This vast and rugged wilderness is home to some of the most epic hikes in the Lone Star State, and we're taking you on 3 must-do trails that showcase the park's stunning diversity. From towering canyon walls to sweeping desert vistas and jaw-dropping sunset views, we've got it all covered. So lace up your hiking boots and let's hit the trail.
We are on the way.
Hey guys, here we are. We're finally in Big Bend National Park in southwest Texas. So hopefully it lives up to all of the expectations that we've had. So far we've just been driving through desert, which has been a bit disappointing, but hey, let's go have a look. This short but spectacular 1.7 mile out and back trail takes you deep into a dramatic limestone canyon carved by the Rio Grande. With canyon walls soaring 1,500 feet above the river, the views are nothing short of breathtaking. After a quick river crossing and a bit of elevation gain, you'll be rewarded with sweeping views of the waterway that separates the US and Mexico. Whether you're hiking at sunset or sunrise, Santa Elena is pure magic. Okay, we've settled into Cottonwood campsite. We're heading out to Santa Elena Canyon, which is one of the big ticket items here because we're only here for the one day, one night. Okay, up and behind us over here is the Santa Elena Canyon. It's a fairly iconic part of Big Bend. And of course the Rio Grande runs in front of it, which is looking very dried up at the moment. There's a bit of a walk that we can go on, so we're going to go and do that next. Alright, so the car park's got heaps and heaps of parking, but it is a very busy area, so you may have to park up the road. Long drop toilets. What do you put in vault toilets? You put nuggets. Alright, so a couple of safety things. In summer, make sure you got lots of water. Wear a hat, try not to come out in the noonday sun. Walk in the mornings, walk in the evenings. However, it's not summer for us, so we don't need to have a hat. We don't need to worry about what time of day to walk in. We're actually here in the evening anyway, but yeah, just be mindful and read the warnings. So the area is very popular with canoeing and other activities. Cattle going both sides of the border. So access up into the cliff face, you follow a little creek that comes down here and then you cross over onto a trail on the other side. You still remain on the US side, of course, because you don't actually cross the Rio Grande, you just cross this little creek. And when I say little creek, it's actually dried up.
Thank you, take this bloody thing.
Yeah, grab my stick.
Jesus.
Well, the track is well used. Probably thousands and thousands of feet have walked on this spot just this week, I would think. There we go. Now we're in for a bit of a climb. Hot yet?
Yes.
And getting slowly higher and higher up the side of the cliff face. Just from here, it's absolutely magnificent. Okay, to put it in perspective, this side over here is the United States, and this part here There's Mexico. Alright, so the trail is relatively easy, a little bit of up and down, nothing too strenuous. I don't think anybody would have any difficulty doing this trail. We have some illegal immigrants into Mexico. Alright, so this is the end of the canyon trail. So the side that I'm standing on here, this is still the US, and of course over there on the other side is the Mexican side. I think the reward is quite worth the walk up here. So, what do you think of the walk up to here?
Quite pleasant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would do it again?
I don't think so. Once is enough.
Okay, so we're going to head back down the bottom of the valley, and we're going to do something naughty, aren't we?
Yeah, cross over to Mexico.
Yes, indeed.
Without passport.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You'll get into deep shit.
Well, maybe. Well, there's cow shit down there, so maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. All right, so the valley that we're walking through, or the canyon that we're walking through, of course, has been carved out by the Rio Grande over millions of years. It was at the bottom of the ocean, and of course it was a big up thrust because it's part of the continental divide, correct? Must be.
These were underwater before.
Yeah, so all of this area was underwater. It was subject to an upthrust, and then the Rio Grande carved out the canyon that we're walking through now. Now, of course, the Rio Grande is not as splendorous as it was in yesteryear because it's been heavily siphoned off for agriculture and things like that. So there we go. So it's not quite as grande as it used to be. Now, more onto the point about the Rio Grande and how it's not very grand anymore. Most of the water in this part of the river actually comes from one of the rivers from the Mexico side, because on the US side it's been heavily drawn from for agriculture. I've got to say, the border wall between the US and Mexico is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at it. I don't know how the Mexicans have managed to pay for that, but that's a massive wall. Okay, so here we go. I'm currently in the United States. I'm going to get sore feet because I've taken my shoes off, and I'm going to cross over the raging, ow, Rio Grande. I hope nobody's throwing any bottles in here, otherwise I'll end up with cut feet. It's remarkably cold. Oh, my feet haven't been out of my shoes for 40 years. This is not good. Oh. And I have now, ouch, entered Mexico illegally. Oh, there we go. So there's Janie on the other side of the river there, and there's me standing on Mexico. Oh, I haven't been shot yet, that's always a good thing. And I've managed to cross back illegally into the United States.
Hello.
This will be my first time to cross without a passport.
You just did it.
Oh.
Okay guys, that was our day at Santa Elena Canyon Trail. Nice easy trail, very, very close to Cottonwood Campground in Big Bend. Yeah, come out, spend half a day here. Lovely place to be. You can even abscond across the Rio Grande into Mexico. All right, Jane, now it's your turn.
No, thank you.
Next up, we're heading east to the Boquillas Canyon Trail, a 1.5 mile round trip hike that leads into another stunning river-carved canyon. This trail is short, scenic and packed with history, giving you a close-up look at the unique culture and geology of the area. As you hike, keep an eye out for singing Boquillas locals across the river and ancient petrographs etched into the rock. The peaceful, secluded vibes make this the perfect place to sit back, relax and take in the beauty of Big Bend's borderlands. Alright, so we were planning to go up to Chisos Basin today, but it's a bit late in the day. We had to do other stuff. So we're going to go and do another canyon walk. It's quite close to the Rio Grande campground. And yeah, hopefully it's as nice as the last one. Now getting into Boquillas Canyon, it's a sealed road, but it's a little bit challenging. It's a bit thin and it's up and down all over the place, but it shouldn't be very far. So we're planning on going to the overlook first, and we'll get some images from there, and then we'll actually go and do the trail. So on one of our previous trail walks, we came across a little one of these illegal shops. So there's a whole heap of them here at the Boquillas Overlook. Alright, so here's a little bit about the Boquillas Canyon. You can stop the video if you want to read that. And over there, that's the canyon. We're going to be heading up through there shortly. Alright, so the Boquillas Canyon Trail is about 1.4 miles round trip. Pretty easy by the looks of it, so let's go.
Welcome back. We're on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers so we can start donating our YouTube revenue to support families battling cancer. Join our journey, hit that subscribe button, and make a difference today. Now back to the video.
Practicing to go down to Grand Canyon. We have to do this like 10 times in order to do Grand Canyon.
Only 10?
Or 20. Or 50.
Alright, so after a little walk up and down the hill, you've, like I thought, following the side of the Rio Grande, through all the nice lush foliage here in the shade. It's a bit cooler, and yeah, heading into the canyon. So there's even donkeys and mules in here. So at one end of Big Bend you've got the Santa Elena Canyon, and the other end you've got the Boquillas Canyon. So interesting, you should visit both. went back the other way. So they've been up here already.
They went back the other way.
Yeah. All right, so we are pretty much at the end. There's all of this rock stuff that we'll try to negotiate over without getting our feet too wet. Hopefully we can see around the corner and give you a shot of what's up there. This is as far as we get. A beautiful cool breeze blowing through as well. It's very, very nice. Alright guys, that was our walk to the Boquillas Canyon. Very nice, very easy. Maybe take about a litre of water with you. No, lovely. What did you think, Janie?
Yeah, it's quite a pleasant walk.
Do you want to try and jump over and get a bit further? I don't think we can without getting wet. For our grand finale, we're tackling the legendary window trail in the Chisos Basin. This 5.6 mile round trip hike descends into a dramatic canyon leading to one of the most famous viewpoints in the park, the window. Carved by centuries of erosion, this narrow rock pour-off perfectly frames the vast desert beyond, creating an unforgettable scene, especially at sunset. The hike itself takes you through lush desert terrain, towering rock formations, and even a few seasonal waterfalls. If you're up for the challenge, the window is a must hike on any Big Bend adventure. So we're off to the Chisos Mountains. It's probably about a half-hour drive from our campsite. Alright, so the Chisos Basin basically is called a island oasis. So the elevation is very high, so apparently the foliage and the wildlife and everything is quite different to the surrounding desert that we're in. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly the change between the lowlands where we're at now and as we get up higher in elevation, to see how all of that changes and what wildlife we get, what trees and things are going to be there. So yeah, looking forward to it. Now the drive up is very pleasant. Now bears are in this area. I think they're black bears. They have self-reintroduced from Mexico. They weren't introduced by like conservationists or anything like that. They actually came in by themselves across the border and reintroduced themselves in this area. There's also mountain lions in this area as well. And like I said, this is like a little oasis in the middle of the desert. You can already see that the trees are getting a lot larger. The road so far has not been challenging. You could get all the way up here without any difficulty whatsoever. Now Chisos Basin has a lodge as well as a visitor centre, store, all sorts of things. So you've got a ready supply of water from water fountains and things like that. So you can come up here, buy whatever you need from the store and go and do your hikes. Alright, so we're heading on the window trail. It's a 3.6 mile round trip. We've taken an extra bottle of water with us this time because the majority of the trail is in the sun, so we don't really know how hot it's going to get. It is November right now, so it is cooling down, but you know, you never know, it could get a bit warmer later on. Of course, you want to bring along decent walking shoes, you want to have a hat, you want to have long sleeves to not get burnt by the sun, and you want to bring plenty of water. Another couple of things, don't play with the bears, don't play with the mountain lions, don't play with the rattlesnakes, they're all problematic. So the trail is actually quite uneven, so you've got to be careful about where you're putting your feet so you don't twist an ankle. One interesting fact about the trail is that the park authorities do more heat stress related rescues on this window trail than any other trail in the park. So bear that in mind, maybe choose your times for doing the trail, maybe when it's in the cooler parts of the day, in the morning or in the evenings, or like us, you know, in like November where the weather is actually cooling down a bit. Now the first part of the walk is completely exposed to the sun. We're into the piece that's starting to go into the little valley between the mountains, and there's a lot more shade, so you're getting bits of sun and then you're getting shade, so it's a bit more pleasant. So as you can see, we're completely in the shade now. Janie, how much has the temperature dropped as soon as we went into the shade? It's cool now, isn't it? Yeah. So it was quite hot and now it's cooled down quite a lot. As we're getting closer and closer, of course, I guess you'd call it canyon walls are closing in. All right, so it looks like we're just about there. Looks like it's gonna go through here. All right, so if it rained, all this would be a river running through here and around the corner.
I can see the window.
Well, maybe it's just a little bit further around the corner. Just around the next corner. Janie, it's just around the next corner.
Yeah, right.
So we're getting pretty close now, and they've put all these little steps in the sides of
What's that?
the trail
A long drop.
that my wife can't see because they're right in front of her face. There, yes. So of course these steps are put in here because we're now walking through the riverbed, so if it had been raining for a couple of days, all of this would be full of water. Alright, there it is. It's just around the next corner, Janie. Right there. Alright, we made it. This is the window. And when it rains, of course, the water just flows straight over the top of that and down. I'm going to try to get out there. I'm not going to go too far because it looks extremely slippery. And I don't want to be one of the people that goes over the edge. That would be bad. Okay, so I think it's a very, very long drop over there. So I'm just going to turn the camera around, extend it out on the pole. Maybe I'll get some decent footage, maybe I won't, but I'm not going to go out there and fall off and die. Alright, so this is as far as I'm prepared to go. It does look like quite a large drop, but it is an absolutely beautiful spot, and if you get a chance come down and do the walk. All right, so there we are. That's our walk to the window.
3.5 miles walk.
Well, no, we've still got 1.7 miles to walk back. We're only halfway. Yeah. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oops, sorry, Janie, I just thumbed up your nose. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.
Not going.
How lucky are we to see a tarantula on the trail? How fantastic is that?
We were just saying this is the first time we've seen one in the wild here in the US.
Okay, just a quick little afterthought. The majority of our water we've probably used on the way back. It's uphill all the way. We're about 30 meters from the entry point. So if you take down a litre of water per person, make sure you save the majority of it for coming back out again, because you're going to need it.
The last 600 meters, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, half a meter. Half a mile.
Half a mile, yep. About the last half a mile you're going to use up most of your water. A well-deserved ice cream after the trail. Okay, so if walking all the way down to the window is a little bit too strenuous, there's a wheelchair accessible trail at the top by the visitor centre, and you can just go to a overlook. The Window View Trail is a 0.3 mile round trip. So from the view from the lookout, it's not quite so spectacular, but you can still see the window. So finishing off the day at the Loop Trail would be quite a pleasant thing to do, and then maybe buy an ice cream at the store, because if you've done all these trails, you definitely deserve that. Oh, you're still here. You might like one of these videos next.